Dear children, good morning. Welcome back to the online class of Sri Gokulam Public School. Now, let's talk about what type of structural changes we expect along with economic development. What is the normal desirable pattern of structural changes that we are expecting along with economic development? So, I told you already, all the advanced developed nations are highly industrialized nations. Underdeveloped, less developed, backward economies are known as agrarian economies. Okay, so what will happen? When an economy grows and develops, what will happen? The respective contribution made by the primary sector towards income and employment will gradually decline, and there will be a corresponding increase in the contribution made by the secondary and tertiary sectors. Isn't it? What will happen along with the economic development? There will be a shift of activities and there will be a shift of employment from primary to secondary and then to tertiary along with the economic development. What will happen along with the economic development? When an economy slowly and gradually develops, what is the normally desired pattern of development? As per the development theory, what will happen? The respective importance given to the primary sector will gradually decline, right? And there will be a corresponding increase in the importance of the manufacturing and service sectors, right? What will happen? The priority or the importance of the primary activities will decline and there will be a corresponding increase in the activities in the service sectors and as well as the manufacturing sectors. In other words, along with economic development, there will be a shift of employment, there will be a shift of activities from primary to secondary and then to tertiary. If you check the experience of the developed nations, you can observe that typical pattern of development process. Initially, low level of development, importance to primary sector, gradually industrial development and then service sector. That is the normally expected pattern of development. What will happen? What will happen? A shift of activities, a shift of employment from primary to secondary and then to tertiary. That was the experiences of the developed nations of the world. But in India, we have a slightly different pattern of development. If you check our production structure, that is GDP contribution. If you check our occupational structure, that is employment contribution, you can see that in India over the years, what happened, India shifted directly to tertiary sector or service sector. India, our development process, how can we observe? India directly shifted to tertiary sector from primary sector. Directly shifted to tertiary sector from primary sector. So, as a result, now we have a service sector oriented growth model. Our service sector is now playing a key role in economic development. And service sector is emerging as a prospective model employer in the coming years. So many emerging employment options now we can search in the service sector. That is why we can say our service sector is now characterized by rapid expansion, emerging as a prospective model employer, a key player of development, isn't it? And this is quite different from the typical pattern of development as experienced by developed nations of the world. So what happened in India? Directly shifted to a tertiary sector or a service sector oriented growth model. We have directly shifted to tertiary sector from primary sector. Why? Because of the lack of rapid industrial development. Isn't it? India, we have our own peculiar pattern of development model, isn't it? Namely, service sector oriented growth model. How can you explain that? Service sector is emerging as a prospective model employer, a key player of development. Okay, now our service sector is characterized by rapid expansion. What happened in India? Quite different from the typical pattern of development. How the developed nations developed? Shift of activities from primary to secondary and then to tertiary. But in India, what happens? Shifted directly to service sector from primary sector. Now our economy is characterized by rapid expansion in the activities. That is service sector oriented economic activities. Health, education, transport, communication, public administration, defense, tourism, IT and enabled services, etc. has been characterized by substantial expansion. Isn't it? So that is the special, typical pattern of development process in India. I hope you follow. So, what we discussed so far? Economic growth and economic development. Growth means rapid expansion of economic activities. Development means growth plus structural changes. In India, we have our own pattern of structural changes characterized by service sector oriented growth model. That is, we have a substantial increase in the activities of the service sector. Okay, we are so happy that now we have a service sector growth model, isn't it?